Welcome to the Boomers, Bucks, and Bling podcast, where we turn retirement planning into a bit of a thrill ride. I'm your host, Carl Spiteri, and each week we'll dive into everything from reverse mortgages and staying put in style to Medicare, Social Security, and home safety. But wait, there's more. We're not just going to talk all about money and business. We're going to add some sparkle, some bling, as we chat with travel pros, party planners, and a lot of different topics that's going to help you make the most of your golden years. So grab a cup of tea or whatever it is you want to drink, get comfy, and let's make retirement planning an adventure of a lifetime.
Welcome to this edition of Boomers, Bucks, and Bling. Today we have a special guest that kind of falls under the bling category, I think a little bit. We have Adele McIntosh with Legendary World Travel, and she's going to talk to us about maybe having a little fun in life. Welcome, Adele.
Hi, thanks, Carl. I appreciate you having me on today.
Oh, it's a pleasure. I think our guests are going to get a whole lot out of this. I'm excited. So, well, why don't you tell us a little about yourself? What makes you an expert?
Yeah, great start. So started my career in my early 20s. I've been in the travel industry for over 3 decades now. I'm a lifer. I like to say I'm probably going to do this until I die. Put me on anyways, it's great
Yeah.
fun. And the best part for me is really I'm in the business of fun. I'm in the business of creating memories and experiences and creating fun for my clients. So we have great networks throughout the world that can help us with all kinds of international destinations. I've got decades of experience and a wonderful team behind me. And yeah, that's the long and the short of it.
Okay. Well, the reason I thought you'd be a great guest is because you said fun, right? So how many times do you go on vacation and it's like not quite as much fun as you may thought it would be? It's nice, but it just you miss that little something, and that's what you sort of communicated to me is that you can create that little something. So let's talk. I don't know. First, I think in my mind when I think of baby boomers and vacations, I think of maybe multi-generational vacations. We talk a lot about in our mortgage practice, and we talk to people about reverse mortgage and things about multi-generational housing, and how different generations can live not necessarily in the same house, but maybe on the same lot or in the same location area. And this kind of fits right into my beliefs that the more the merrier with family. So let's talk about a multi-generational vacation. How would you start?
Yeah, so I mean, the great thing about the multi-gen vacations is really bringing your whole family together. And we're very careful about consulting with our clients and finding out, of course, the people that are paying, what's important to them, what are they
Yeah.
looking forward to most getting out of their vacation, but also making sure that we do have activities and excursions and experiences for everybody in the family, whether it's grandma and grandpa, their adult kids, some grandkids. The great part about going on a multi-gen vacation is we really will sit down and say, great, let's do experiences where you can all be together, maybe some super special meals, or maybe we can set up a photographer to come and do those great vacation photos for the whole family. But then for your 12-year-olds or your 16-year-olds, let's do something special just for them. The 40 or 50-year-old adult kids, they're usually pretty flexible and go with the flow. And grandma and grandpa, maybe
Hmm.
they're slowing down a little bit and maybe they don't want to hike to the top of that castle. Maybe they want to sit on a bench and have, some different experiences. So a big part of what my job as a travel advisor is to sit down and really get to the point of what do you envision this looking like, this vacation, and then how can we make it special and unique for each of the travelers in the family. You can buy off-the-shelf products. You can go to Costco Travel. You can go to AAA. There are you could go to a million places online and just pick a vacation. And I think what makes it different for what we do is the consulting part and the sitting down and getting to know you to make sure that those experiences are individualized and tailored for your whole family.
Hmm. Yeah, we do the same thing in our financial world where we don't just give people a mortgage. We kind of figure out what's the long-term goal, what's the where do we want this to end up as opposed to just the immediate. And I think that does a lot for your business as well. So give us an example of like a multi-generational vacation that you planned, if you can. I
Yeah.
assume you've been doing this 30 years. I bet you've done one, I would imagine, right?
One or more, yes, a couple,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
So a lot of what we do are selling cruises. And the great part about cruises is there really is something for everybody, whether it's a big ship with all the roller coasters and ice rinks, or whether it's an intimate ship where we can take pace a little bit slower and maybe we can create some exceptional or some individual activities off the ship. The great thing about cruises is there really is something for everybody. And then you can all come back together. If you're doing different activities during the day, you can come back together for meals or for special experiences.
Hmm.
And then we also work with some great partners. One of them that comes to mind right off the bat is a company called Tauk Tours. And they have products that are specifically for multi-generational families. It's called their Tauk Bridges program. And they're great because they really know that they're going to have these products that will fit a wide demographic. So those are a couple, I could delve into deep ones, but very popular these days is Italy. The typical Rome, Florence, Venice, get that in 9 or 10 days. We're seeing a lot of multi-gen families go to Japan, and I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about Africa. Africa is an incredible multi-generational vacation experience with so much to do for everybody.
So like what?
Ah,
Give me an idea.
yeah, so Africa. Let's talk about going on safari game drives a couple times a day. Those evening sunsets where they break out the tables and set, either some glasses of champagne or sparkling cider, or if it's a little bit cool, maybe they'll do hot chocolate and roast marshmallows around a fire. So Africa is great. It certainly is entertaining for the young and the old. Some other multi-gen and where we're seeing popularity is in our domestic, doing the national parks, doing Yellowstone and the Tetons, and going and experiencing lodges and the big five animals in America, the bison that we have in America and the wild horses. And I think a lot of it revolves around wildlife. At least a lot of what I do is really getting out and
Hmm.
experiencing the wildlife.
I know I have a sister who's like wildlife crazy. It's just like every time they're going somewhere, they're going to see wildlife, and just she's fascinated by it.
Yeah.
I guess that's the thing these days. Wow, that's interesting. I mean, so Italy would be. I mean, there's not a lot of wildlife in Italy, right?
No, not a lot of wildlife, but a lot of culture. So definitely I would say that would be
Hmm.
great for your 17, 18-year-old grandkids. The little ones aren't certainly going to appreciate it as much as they will some of the wildlife experiences, but you get those late teenagers, grandkids in their early 20s. They're really going to dig the history, the architecture, the culture, the food, right? The nightlife.
Hmm.
So depending on, again, that's where really the consultative process comes in, is finding out what's going to create the best experiences based on your multi-generational family, and what your interests are. So yeah,
Hmm.
definitely the
So,
food and the nightlife. And I do go back to that photographer. I was in Costa Rica on a multi-gen trip myself over Thanksgiving, and grandma hired a photographer and came, and there were 13 of us. And those memories, all of us standing in the swimming pool and the sunset going down behind us and a professional photographer there to catch those special moments, something that they can take home with them, right? And hang on the wall. In
yeah,
addition to the memories we have in our minds and in our hearts, some of those experiences with the photography can be just very special.
yeah, yeah. It's you take home the photographs for the older generation, and once the old generation is no longer around, the younger generation has the photographs, so they also have the personal memory of it all, and
Yeah.
I think that's pretty neat. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Wow. So there's a lot to do.
Yeah, a
A
lot to
lot to
do.
do.
Yep. Working with Legendary World, we talked about the consultative process, and I touched
Hmm.
briefly on our network of contacts worldwide. So we do work with the top travel suppliers. in the industry. But in addition to that, our network and our cooperative, we do have contacts with in-destination specialists around the world. So if you're looking for something very exclusive, for example, getting into the Louvre before the doors open, or being the only ones in St. Peter's Cathedral and bypassing all of those crowds, we do have
You
in-destination.
can do that?
We can
You
do
really can
that.
do that?
We really
Wow.
can do that. We have in-destination specialists that can make those type of exceptional experiences happen. And those are the wow moments that we really like to come through with.
Okay. So let's flip it a bit and let's say solo travel. So how do you what do you do there? How does that work?
Yeah, it's such a shame. Somebody has maybe a spouse that passes away, or maybe they never got married, but they still have that travel bug and they want to get out and
Hmm.
explore the world. And we have a very large network of um, what do I want to say, voyages or departure dates where they do cater to the solo traveler. I'm going to start back again with the cruise lines. Some of my favorite cruise lines for solo travel are going to be the more intimate. You think, small, solo, maybe that doesn't quite, go hand in hand. Maybe there aren't as many people
Yeah.
to hang out with. But we take a look at suppliers like Crystal Cruises, Seabourn, Silver Sea, and Regent, and they have amazing solo experiences. On Crystal, they have dance hosts. So if you like to dance, if you want to get out there and do your ballroom or your cha-cha or your rumba, they have male dance hosts that will come out and dance with you if you're a female, or a male. The entertainment team will come out and dance with you. And so some of these other cruise lines, these higher end luxury lines, really understand that it's a challenge for somebody single amongst 5,000 people. Sometimes too
Yeah,
many people
exactly.
can be too much. So
Yeah.
these intimate lines, they have nightly solo gatherings. They have shore excursions and experiences that are just for your solo travelers. And they have solo discounted pricing. So you're not always paying 200%. Sometimes my poor solos, they want to go on this great trip. And when I tell them it's 200% of what, the single supplement is, they're going to pay double. They're like, but wait a minute, I'm only eating half. I'm only one person. So we do have some great dates where there's a very low or a waived solo supplement. So you really can
Hmm.
go on without having that. We're going to create that extra value by not having to pay
Hmm.
200% or a large solo supplement for you.
And that would be because the rooms are based on double occupancy, right? That's what you're saying?
When you go on a traditional cruise, yes, the rooms are all based
Okay.
on double occupancy. So if it's 5,000 a person, 10 grand for two, well, lots of these cruise companies will say, yeah, 10 grand, whether there's one or two in the room. And my solars are going, but wait a minute. I
Yeah,
don't want to do
exactly.
that. So, because I do have a large number of solos that I work with, I keep an eye on who's got the best solo promotions going on and how can I help add value to your vacation. Look, nobody wants to pay more than they have to, right?
Yes,
Nobody wants to
especially in
pay more
in
than,
a time of high inflation. I just feel like, you
yeah.
rarely go at all, right?
But we don't mind paying good money as long as we're getting good value out
Hmm.
of that experience. And so if I can help move you a week or a month one way and the other to help get you the best value in your vacation, then that's really where I'm going to work for you. My clients are hiring me to work for them to make sure that they have this exceptional experience and a good value for what they're
Yeah.
spending.
Yeah. And with 12,000 people retiring every day in this country until 2029, once you're retired, I guess your schedule is your schedule, right? You don't have to really deal with any work schedule or anything else, right? So
Yeah,
yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
we'll still
That makes a
talk
lot of
about,
sense.
does it make sense to go in the middle of summer when, there's going to be all the crowds and when it's going to be hot? Or does it make sense to maybe go to Europe the first week in October when things are starting to cool down a little bit? Um, my clients will say, well, what's the best time to go? Well, the best time to go is when it's best for you. It's not necessarily a blanket about, everybody needs to go at this time. So we'll definitely
Yeah.
work together to figure out when the best time is, what the best product is, and then what sort of exceptional experiences we can help create so that you do bring home all those rich memories with you.
Hmm. Wow. you provide quite a service. It sounds like
We do. Yeah, we
mhm.
do. I want to, there's a term that goes around full service travel agency. And I think that is a little overused. Can we sell all products? Yes. Of course, I'm just selling a third party product, but really it's more than that. We really only work with a select number of clients. Not everybody's a good fit for us. So typically what
Mhm.
we'll do is have a 15 or 30-minute conversation on the phone or via Zoom and make sure that it's a good fit for us to work together. What is the Legendary World pricing? What is our consulting fee for this vacation? What are my clients expecting out of me? What are my clients expecting out of the vacation? And is it a good fit for all of us? And I'll be very honest with you. There's a lot of times when I tell my prospect on the phone, it's probably not a good fit for us. This is not what I do. I don't have a lot of experience, or this is just not a product where I can add much value to you. So I'm not, I recommend that you call someone else because it just isn't where we're at. But so many of my clients, are just calling time and time again. Oh my gosh, Adele, we had the best time and you helped so much. You were so great when there was a crisis or a problem, or when you had to help me file a travel insurance claim because something did go wrong. So, that's where we really are going to have a conversation and make sure it's a good fit for both of us. It's kind of in the beginning, it's kind of like dating. We need to get to know each other, make
Mhm.
sure we like each other, and make sure that I can provide ultimately the value in what you're going to pay to hire me to do something to help with your vacation.
Wow, that sounds fascinating. Why don't you tell people how to get a hold of you? Could we have you back for another segment? We try to keep these, somewhat consolidated, but maybe have you back for another episode here shortly.
Yeah, I'd love it. That'd be great. In the
All right.
meantime,
Well, yeah, go ahead. Tell people
yeah,
how to
in
get
the
a hold of you.
meantime, the best way to reach me, you can give me a quick call. I'm here in North County. I work at phone number 760-410-7447. And also email Adele, Adele, like the singer, I try to say, Adele at legendaryworld.com.
Okay, and that is North County, San Diego, California, because we never know who's listening to these. So, but you probably work with anybody from any zip code or area code that they might call you from if they're a fit, right?
All over the US, some in Canada. We have a few international clients, but typically my customers are going to be in the US, yes.
US based. Okay. Well, great. Well, thank you very much. We're really happy to have you on, and we'll look forward to talking with you again shortly, sometime soon.
Thanks, Carl. Appreciate it.
All right. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.